I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After lows tonight dip into the upper 20s to the low 30s, we can expect another seasonal day tomorrow with highs in the 60s. South wind gust of 20 to 30, increasing those fire weather concerns for tomorrow in drier locations. A ridge of high pressure building onto the plains warms our highs into the 70s Sunday and the mid-70s to the low 80s on Monday. Breezy southerly winds for Monday and Tuesday may also increase the fire concerns. A cold front moving through Tuesday leads to highs ranging from around 60 in west central Nebraska to around 80 over northern Kansas. As that cold front tracks farther southeast, rain and some thunderstorms are possible Tuesday night through Wednesday night. Widespread rain not likely, and any amount should range from a trace to a quarter inch. Highs bottom out in the upper 40s to the 50s Wednesday before slightly warming to the mid to upper 50s on Halloween. Wednesday night, a widespread hard freeze is likely. Any cooling is looking to be short-lived. Nebraska and Kansas temperatures the mid to late part of next week predicted to be seasonal to slightly above normal before a return to slightly warmer than normal temperatures next weekend through November 7th. By November 7th in central Nebraska, daytime highs are typically in the mid-50s with average overnight lows in the upper 20s. Above normal rainfall is indicated for Nebraska and Kansas Wednesday through the first 7 days of November. The highest chances the middle to late part of next week. Key weather factors influencing the markets include heavy rain possible for parts of the U.S. next week, beneficial rain in Brazil, and Argentina becoming drier. Dry weather returns across the Midwest for the next several days and dominates the rest of the U.S. through the weekend. Early next week, major changes begin starting in the Northwest. Rain and snow develops in the western U.S. on Monday. Precipitation expanding Tuesday across parts of the northern plains and upper Midwest. Cooler weather accompanies and trails the precipitation, while warmer than normal temperatures linger across the south, east, and lower Midwest. There's still uncertainty on how widespread the coverage of precipitation is for the nation's midsection the early to middle of next week. Uncertainty is greater for another chance of precipitation in the central U.S. late next week or weekend. Either way, there's at least a couple of chances of widespread rain in the middle of the U.S. over the next week. Central Brazil's continuing rain favors soybean planting and establishment. A report will be watched to determine how delayed the soybean planting is in central Brazil and if it can be completed by the deadline of the end of the month. Rainfall in southern Brazil has kept their soybean planting on schedule before a drier stretch over the next week. Argentina's drought is reduced for filling wheat and corn establishment. Forecast is drier over the next week before rain chances return in Argentina next month. If that dry stretch lasts too long, conditions will be unfavorable for Argentina soybean planting next month. Northwest Europe and Italy are likely to stay too wet over the next week. Eastern Europe, though, could use some rain for wheat establishment. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.